Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel. I'm your host for LT Productions. You are watching another edition of Soundbite. It's where I get a little bit more deep and wanting to divulge in a lot of different hot topics or something that I think needs a little extra oomph to it. And today we're going to be talking about Miss Nene Leakes. It was announced earlier this week that she's returning to Bravo. But what exactly is she returning to? I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video. You can also subscribe and you can leave your comments below. Now let's get into this soundbite. All right, y'all. So I'm going to read you an article from Deadline and we'll go from there. We know that many of Nene Leakes fans have been in a limbo of really wanting Nene Leakes back on the show of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Nene, when you think of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, you automatically go to Nene Leakes. Anyways, let me go to Deadline. The headline is Nene Leakes set Bravo return with Real Housewives Ultimate Road Trip. Nene Leakes officially comes back to the Bravo-verse with the Real Housewives Ultimate Road Trip. The mother of all housewives and the former star of the Real Housewives of Atlanta is making her return to Bravo with the spin-off celebrating 20 years of the Real Housewives franchise. Nene says this has been a really long journey, and gosh, I'm happy, overjoyed to say that I will be returning to Bravo. Leakes said in a video shared on Instagram, "I almost can't believe the words that are coming out of my mouth. I'm just so happy." That's also a video that I shared on one of my shorts. You can go look at that. Or you can go to Nene's, I think it's on her Instagram page, and you can view it there. Leakes is one of the most recognizable stars of the Real Housewives franchise. She ended her tenure on ROA after season 12 in 2020 amid a contract dispute, and later sued Bravo for creating a toxic work environment, which she later dropped. In August 2023, Leakes said that she had no hard feelings against executive producer Andy Cohen and was open to returning to the franchise. After Leakes announced her return on Instagram, Andy replied to the post, "Couldn't celebrate 20 years without you." The Real Housewives Ultimate Road Trip follows a group of beloved housewives from across the years embark on a once-in-a-lifetime adventure, making their way through some of the most memorable locations in the franchise's history, starting where it all began in Orange County and culminating in an epic East Coast grand finale. Each stop will feature appearances by fan favorites from different cities to pay tribute to the past, embrace the present, and look toward to many miles still ahead. Along the way, viewers can expect I can never say this word right. Nostalgic reunions, heartfelt revelations, effortless humor, and the larger-than-life dynamics that only Housewives can deliver. Okay, we will talk about the ultimate road trip for the Housewives in just a few minutes, but I wanted to touch on Nene. I will say for Nene, okay, it looks like you're happy that you are back on the Bravo spear and all that good stuff. I can't take away your happiness that you're feeling. I can't take the happiness away from how the fans are feeling. But I think that there should be a real talk and a real call to order to what we have been experiencing out of Nene Leakes since 2020. When we found out that Nene Leakes was not returning, she said she chose not to come back because they reduced the amount of episodes that she was going to be featured on. She was only promised, I think it was 6 or 7 episodes, and she said, "Nah, I'm good." Then, something happened where Andy went over to Wendy Williams' show. Wendy Williams ended up talking regarding Nene Leakes. What else does she have to give? Now, Nene Leakes and Wendy, they did have a falling out beforehand in regards to how Nene was overstepping and thinking that she was more a bigger bestie with Wendy Williams, and Wendy Williams said no. It was a thing where she wanted Wendy Williams to come on her Instagram and all that. She's like, "No, I'm not a part of that world." Basically, Nene was thinking that she was closer to Wendy Williams than what Wendy Williams was agreeing to. Like, no, you're over there. So when Andy came to Wendy Williams' show. He had asked her opinion on some of the cast members, or even if this one deserves a spinoff or whatever, and she said boring as far as Nene leaves. Who really wants to see Nene with Greg? It's boring. From that point on, it was up and stuck between Nene and Wendy. Nene said a lot of hurtful things out of her anger because of her natural critics of what Nene could actually bring to a show. First and foremost, Nene can really only operate on with an ensemble cast. They help her be great. Is she a star? Yeah, but she needs people to help her be a star. And I think because Andy was on there, Andy caught a stray, where she ended up calling him a racist and a cokehead. And also said, before they knew you, what was the term? She said, before they knew you, they knew me. Like, basically, I made you. You needed me in order to be made. She said also in countless interviews of, she came up with so many of the idea concepts of even reunion and all this other stuff. Never accredited. And I kept looking like, y'all black people. I even look at the Braxtons. And that's a different topic, but y'all black people, y'all mad, but y'all don't even have a business mindset. But anyways, she said all that. When the next season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta came out, which was season 13, there was first already a petition to boycott the show. She also shared that. I don't think that she started it, but she helped push it. And it was supposed to be boycotted so that she can get back on the show. As the numbers of the ratings kept going down, she would comment on it because she thinks that she is the one that's driving ratings. Time went on, then we found out that there was a lawsuit and she was suing for racism. She claimed that while she was filming for The Real Housewives of Atlanta, she said that Bravo created a hostile work environment that allowed Kim Zolciak to be racist and to say racist things. She said that she had complaints that she went to the upper folk, the executives, whomever's in charge. Nothing was getting done. Yet she stayed for several seasons more. They removed the white chick, Kim Zolciak. Then you decide to speak out after your episodes were reduced to just 6 episodes or 7 episodes. So then there was a lot going on. The fans were attacking Andy daily on the internet. Her fans would not let anyone breathe that decided to still watch The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Y'all tried to make it miserable on the timeline. Got this, da 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 da. She also made some videos where she was saying that she was terrified. People are following me. And basically insinuating that Bravo or NBC Universal was having her followed. It wasn't soon, I think on the Tamara Hall when she was crying and all that, or something. I remember when she said, you know, I was there for Andy. You know, I was the one that threw a baby shower when little, I forgot his son's name, was born and all that. I got a baby shower gift, you know, I love you. Call me Andy, let's work it out. Even though beforehand you had told him, after you called him a racist cokehead, keep her name out of his mouth. And he did that for several seasons. So, y'all was still on lawsuits and all that good stuff. Then you went around, let me say this much. Because also, there was this slanderous campaign led by you and by your head content creator about Candy. Called her Uncle Tom and all that good stuff. All because she wouldn't comply to the racism and all that stuff that you wanted going on. You talked about the whole reunion stuff. Da, 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 da. We needed to be a group. It wasn't a group in the first place. It wasn't even like Candy versus you. You've always been irritated with that lady, anyways, since she got on the show in season 2. You did all that. Y'all tried to make it so that Candy's spinoff wouldn't make it to another season, and that's what happened. Because the fans were hell-bent on getting Nene back on the show, that they were still calling Andy Cohen a racist, per what Nene said. And that I don't get it. I don't understand the culture of the Housewives fans, aka Nene fans. Y'all wanted everything black to crumble on a network, yet still screaming that Nene needs to come back. Then there was this trend of what are your dream cast if you were on the show. One person that Nene would always say that she wanted on the show, and it's Kim Zolciak. The culprit, the main plot within your lawsuit. You still wanted to work with her. You called her a racist, and you said that the network made it a hostile environment because they would never get the racist Kim Zolciak together. You did this function. I think this was with your company, Ladies of Success. But anyways, you were featured with her walking down the. How in the world were you going to really, like, what lawyer actually took your case and took that seriously? I've said all of this is because it's weird that you want to go back to that hostile work environment, as you did claim. I think that Nene should address the audience and not just slip back in. I think that there should be some accountability because we don't return back to racism. We got people dying daily. And your black self used racism to try to ignite something just to get you back on the show. You wanted to burn the whole thing down. Because you've always felt like you were bigger than the program. Why are you returning back to racism? Is my question, Nene. And I'm going by your claims. I think we're owed an explanation. As a black community and black race, you're the one that sent out the bells and whistles of racism. You're the one that unleashed a bunch of folks to attack Andy daily. You hooked up with Bethany Frankel. You say that you haven't done the worst things on Bravo. I mean, according to white people, yeah, you did. I ain't never heard nobody. Now, there's other people that have now alleged that he does coke. Nobody else is calling him a racist. I guess it's good for you that you got back where you wanted to be. I just think it's a shame if you don't really speak out and be accountable to your black community. I'm always going to look at you crazy because I've been looking at you crazy since you decided not to join season 13. But your fans are going to not care because they want to be entertained. And there's something about when people want to be entertained, they dismiss everything else that they see going on with this person. That is some manipulative crap, some demonic crap. Y'all can talk about pastors and church folk, good, do that all day. But as long as you're entertained, it don't matter what you put out there in the universe. Again, people are dying daily over people really victims of racism. I can't say that Bravo is not racist. I just don't understand why we're still begging white folks to make black folks great on a white network. Yeah. Nene, you do owe us something. And I'm calling you into accountability. And I don't care what a Nene fan has to say. I'm calling you into accountability. whether you're going to give it or not. I don't believe that you are, because you're arrogant and you do feel entitled. In a way, you do. I think that you have been disrespected as to who you're supposed to be. You said you were blackballed, which I think I already covered. Were you blackballed, or people saw your outburst? Because you were even telling folks to not watch Andy's New Year's Eve specials. You did all that. You did all of that. But Bravo needs you at this point. And you are willing to, be a donkey, again, for these white folks that you said were racist. Y'all can act like there's a God, but I just don't understand it, because a lot of you black folks would never allow another black person to get away with this. I don't care how much you need to be entertained. I don't care that you come back, Nene. But I am going to say what needs to be said. You made some strong allegations. You know how reactive black people are when you talk about racism. And you knew people would follow after you. However, the show that you tried to burn down still went on, whether the ratings were good or not. I just don't like the hypocrisy. I don't like the non-avoidance and not being accountable for things. It's so crazy that Kenya Moore always has to be accountable. She got to make all these apologies, public apologies, and all this stuff when it was against the indigenous people. You tried to start a civil war between black people and Andy Cohen and the network. I hope you get all that you want, Nene Leakes, and I hope that you're accountable. Now, regarding the ultimate girls trip, road trip thing, from what I remember, who is on the cast, they have, I know, Giselle Bryant, Kyle Richards from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Giselle's from Potomac. They have Teresa Giudice. They have Vicki Gulveson. She's from Orange County. They also have, who else? Let me see. I'm opening it up right now, sorry. At least the headliners, I'll just say that much. Okay, so they got Vicki Gulveson, Luann, I forgot how to say her last name, but she's on the New York cast. Teresa Giudice, Kyle Richards, Lisa Barlow, Giselle Bryant, and Portia Williams. I honestly think that this road trip should have been with the OGs. They're going to be traveling to different cities and talking with different casts. Cool. Those OGs should have led. I think even like Lisa Vanderpump, like Portia Williams, you have no right to be with this cast as a headliner. You came in season 5, and the OGs saved you from being axed off the show. Candy and Nene saved your tail. And now you think that why would you want to do that? Like, I would have had more respect for you if you just respectfully declined, even if they offered it to you. I feel like you're taking any job that you got so that you can maintain Simon's house, because you know you can't afford it. Not on your own. Yeah, Lisa Barlow, cool. I mean, they need some representation, but the thing is, this isn't some type of girls trip like that. I don't even think a lot of these folks are friends with each other. They don't know each other. And then you're just going to put these folks together. You got Giselle at the BravoCon who has to straighten stuff up, which she didn't, when another housewife said that Giselle Bryant was rude. And it's been other folks that said that she was rude. I think people would have preferred for Karen Huger, but Karen Huger cannot go past the state lines. She's on probation. So I don't even know how they're going to fit it in as far as the vacation trips, because I'm sure that she's returning season 11 for The Real Housewives of Potomac. But Sheree should have been the one if you weren't going to have Nene. Nene's going to make an appearance, which is weird, but that's what she signed on for. Y'all can say, oh, it's a test. It's a test to see if she would. Okay, cool. But I've heard that Sheree is upset. She wasn't even offered. Like, she has history there. I'm sorry. Bravo, y'all use her up whenever you want to feel that nostalgic. Now, Cynthia's okay because she's going to play the friend role and she'll just come in here and be used for nostalgia. Since she isn't that formidable player in everything, I get it. But it's just like, you couldn't get one OG that's not Kim Zolciak, because we as black people still feel a way about Kim Zolciak, even though y'all still want Nene to work with Kim Zolciak, which is weird. Y'all fans are very weird to me. And the reason I'm always going to feel a way about Kim Zolciak is because of how she can't even acknowledge that, oh, well, maybe I have said some things out of turn. Maybe I need to learn a little bit. But you got black people that defend her. You got Sheree defending her. Carlos King said that he's never been around when she's done any type of racist stuff. But there's several things that we saw that's been pointed out to that girl. And she can't even acknowledge. But just, I'm not a racist. You know, the typical white person. Don't say I am. I'm not a racist. How dare you? Racism isn't even a thing. Because by season 4, you were calling people ghetto and ratchet in the hood. Whatever, y'all. I don't know about this girls trip thing. I'll be watching from afar because I just don't see the chemistry within this group, this cast that they've set together. Like, whatever. But y'all can tell me how you feel about the road trip. Is anyone feeling me in regards to Nene Leakes? She can go and return, but ma'am, you returning back to racism. That's what you claimed it to be. So why are you back? Or you disagree. Let me know that. Please keep it respectful. I mean, I'm a clap back. So keep it respectful, even if you're a Nene fan. I just think that y'all need to stop. I don't even think being delusional. I just think that y'all move the goalposts for her because of the weight that she carries within the housewife reality world. And you allow her to do certain things, but you wouldn't let another black person get away with that. That's bad, y'all. But let me know. That's all I got. I have several other videos that will be coming out this weekend, so stay tuned. Hit that notification button, and until the next one, peace.